open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Last time, on our wonderful Nathriel campaign, we found this cobbled-together group traveling to the Nork Empire to the destination of the Knowing's Notch. On their own individual quest, they must go through really dangerous territories where basically everything is out to kill you and get you. The first day into it, they encountered some problems, had a little bit of a fight, but met some friendly Nork, saved them, and then sent them back to the wall to hopefully get some useful information. They themselves trekked deeper into the land, narrowly avoiding and escaping some of the Nork patrols in their territory. Where we left them is on second or third day, one of the days, not very much into the journey yet, where one of them was using their own body to digest and study the existence of what is inside these Nork. Isolating a substance, they realized it's a very bad substance, and their body was screaming for them to get it out, but they refused. Possibly an act of curiosity. But the result was them momentarily losing complete control of their body, as something took over and cast blight on Teffie Catan. Where we are going to start for the day, it's a bit of a description for the rest of you. When you turn around and you see Aborius, he is no longer a healthy moss green coloration in his healthy bits. There is pulses of death and mold waving over his entire body. His eyes are wide and appear to be dilated. Aborius, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
14.
14. The molded colorations grow in pattern. For the beginning of this, Aborius, you have enough time for a single sentence before you lose control of your body again.
Okay, let's see. What would Aborius say in this moment? I know what I know now, right?
You know what you know now, yeah.
Okay. Protect Teffie.
You hear Aborius say that as the face shifts, teeth begin to grow a little bit, and you hear another voice echo out of it.
We found another plaything, Teddy. Would you like to control it?
For the other four, while you see Aborius' skin undulating, is there anything you're doing in particular?
Can I see the connection change?
Give me a check. Let's do a perception check. Oh, someone's getting their dice out.
Yeah, I'm not using the D&D Beyond dice anymore. They quite literally haven't rolled above a 10 for me in the last several weeks.
Digital dice are BS.
17?
Yeah.
17 on your perception check. You, with Aborius, it's a little difficult because of his nature to begin with, but there is a faint, pale purple coloration of lines wrapping around him. You other three. Anything from you three?
I'm trying to figure out what kind of magical swirl is going around him.
You don't see any magical swirl. What you just see is his body broiling in itself.
So
the skin
there's no sort
shifting.
of sorry. I
No,
misunderstood.
that's only something Big Tim sees. Yeah.
If I'm able to
Steroids.
say words in response, am I able to do that?
You sure can, yeah.
William would turn to Teflessa and say, sometimes running is the best course. Is this one of those times?
Well, I got hit with a blight spell. I don't know what that does to me.
What does it do?
I don't know.
Your fin, your
fin?
skin feels just that much tighter. Yeah, like you've been more leatherized, dehydrated.
Ew.
It's had its effect on you.
I'm
It's
really not
necrotic
sure.
damage.
I'm really not sure what the best course of action here would be. I'm not sure if he's able to be reasoned with.
I'm going to say I'm just going to turn like slightly over my shoulder in their direction. And I'm just going to say, Teffie, I'd run. And then
Boreas, make another wisdom saving throw.
Using my own dice this time. Much better. Oh my goodness, 24.
24. The undulation seems to calm a little. But one of the hands is still creeping upwards. Boreas, you know the intent here. Your body's being driven to do everything it can to remove Teflessa Catan from existence. You're about to use an action to do it, but you have your bonus action and your movement to yourself. Is there anything you would like to attempt before
How
you
close
cast
am I
another?
to Teflessa?
15 feet?
Double check what this spell's distance is. Oh gods, I can't get far enough away before it goes off. Yeah, I guess I'm going to attempt to... Oh gods, bonus action and movement, you said?
Yep.
I'm going to use one of my phase steps to move 30 feet away. And then I'm going to move another 30 feet away.
Ooh. You all see
Not going to get me far enough, but...
Boreas almost meld into a cloud of spores and shift very quickly to a different location and then start stumbling backwards. Let's see, where's the wrong mouse? You have a base speed of... What's the distance of this spell I'm thinking of?
120 feet.
oof.
Is that the right one?
The one that would stop her from running away.
Oh yeah, that totally. No. Not that one. That one's too risky for other reasons.
Ah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Are you looking for the most powerful one I have that I can use right now?
No, I'm just looking at yours now, and I think you actually might have done it. Because they're not willing to use that one. Not yet.
Oh, and that's...
Yeah, you're stumbling away. You've gotten 75 feet away from Teffie, which is out of the distance of all your own. No, never mind.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Hello.
There's a couple more.
No, there aren't. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
We don't
there
need to kill
are.
me today.
I just found that one.
I'm going to try something when you.
I cut you off. Why don't you give it a try quickly?
No, it's going to be. Well, first, yes, I am going to say, kind of under my breath, I'm gonna go. His name was Yalder, right?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. I'm gonna say, Yalder, I'm gonna need a little bit of help on this one. And then, what I'm going to do once you cast that is I'm going to try and use my reaction to counterspell.
Counterspell. Oh,
But
very good.
you go ahead and do what you're gonna do, and then allow me to do it if it is time. If not, then
It is certainly time. Give me a persuasion check, Draken. As
no.
Teffie, you can feel the area around you begin to pulse with electricity.
Oh, 18, 15 on the die.
18? Okay.
Or no, it'd be 19 plus 4. Sorry, plus 4, 19.
You have a spell slot.
A spell slot.
A spell slot. You're going to be rolling for this. So you are casting Counterspell.
Level 3 counterspell. Yeah.
Level 3 Counterspell. Read off how Counterspell works for us, so we can make sure we get the math done correctly.
One reaction which you take when you see a creature within. Oh no. 60 feet of you. Is he within 60 feet of me?
With how I put things, I believe so.
Okay. If he is, then I attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. If the creature is casting a spell of 3rd level or lower, its spell fails and has no effect. If it is casting a spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On success, the creature's spell fails and has no effect.
Okay, you're rolling for this. DC 12.
Should I do my gabagoo dice on this one?
Hope for the best.
Oh, well, that's an 18 on the die.
Oh, and you're... Yeah, that's a 22. You...
Yes.
Call out very quickly, reach up your hand, and there's a flicker of light as you are witnessing Arboreus stumbling back but spin around with a look of pure malice towards Teffie. As they raise both their hands, spores beginning to pulsate around, and then with lightning starting to elongate inside. Elongate? It's a word now. And Teffie, you are feeling yourself start to sparkle as this core lightning spell is being created. And then that flicker of that light grows stronger and pulses, stopping the spell. A little bit of a as it lunges forward and hits the cloud, causing it to just fall to the ground, dead. Inside your head, Arboreus, at this point, you hear a very upset voice. No! He's stopping all my fun! Make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, not so good. 13.
13. All right.
Can I see the struggle?
You can, yes. Go for it.
Can I offer assistance in the good side? Give him advantage on that roll by amplifying the good side or manipulating the primordial energies to help the good side.
Interesting. All right. A very interesting. Draken goes divine, and BT goes to the primordial energies. I like it. Give me No, I'm not going to ask for a persuasion check on your side. Yes, actually, I will just let that go through. Laborious.
Oh, much better. 26.
26. You have full control of your body this time. You can still feel the presence of something. There's also another presence now. And BT, at this point, there's a slight little speckle of this yellow energy beginning to attempt to untwine this purple. The purple energies around him. There the guy finishes the sentence. Haha.
May I take an action?
Go for it.
I'd like to try to grab onto Teffie with my feet and fly away.
Teffie, as you're standing there, witnessing everything that's going on, little Owlin, much smaller than you, comes to your shoulder, grabs on, and starts trying to pull. And
I'm medium. I'm medium-sized.
You're medium-sized.
Now, here's the question. You have predatory feet like owls do. Do you do the owl waddle when you walk?
Waddle. I think this is why they fly everywhere.
I'm going to say no.
No.
Dang it.
But they come up, Teffie, and this larger owl-type creature grabs hold and starts pulling you back. I don't think you're big enough to actually be able to drag back, but you will be able to pull back unless they protest, then back at least 15 feet, half your movement.
Cool.
Which Teffie is muted right now, so I don't know if they're protesting.
Teffie is not protesting. Teffie is kind of confused, but happy to be taken away from the man who's trying to kill her.
Laborious.
Laborious is going. What would I need to do in order to try and expel this substance from me?
That is a great question. What would you like to try to do?
For lack of a better way of putting it, Laborious is going to attempt to throw it up.
Give me a Constitution. Let's make it a Constitution attack roll. So take your Constitution modifier and add your. What's it called? Proficiency bonus. There we go.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's an 18.
An 18. Isolating this substance, you begin to bring it all to your stomach. There is a confliction now with inside you, as at first there's a strong sense of, no, you can't do this, and then they start to lose grip as you start to bring it all into your stomach, back into a liquid form. Something is helping you. Or trying to. But you're not sure what. The rest of you see Laborious, where they're standing, stumble for a moment and begin to heave. And it looks like they're about to throw up. The four of you doing anything?
Assisting the yellow.
Assisting the yellow.
Continuing to pull away.
Do I have any rat poison with me by chance, maybe?
I wouldn't call it rat poison, but you could potentially.
I have like concoctions.
Yes.
What do they do?
They cause people to be violently ill for the entire day after consuming it, which is something you could potentially do with those. You also have other chemicals. So I wouldn't say rat poison, but I wouldn't say you're not equipped for something like that.
Okay, I'm going to go through my bag and find the most rat poison adjacent chemicals or chemical combination that I can throw together.
You know rat poison dehydrates the body, right? It doesn't make them throw up.
You know that
Makes them
rat poison is safe for humans because humans have a gag reflex, so we will throw it up. And rats don't have a gag reflex, so that's why they die, right?
Well, it triggers their eating reflex, so they want to eat more and they feel like they're super hungry while also dehydrating them massively, so they actually die of dehydration.
Yes, but they can't throw it up and humans do, so I would like some rat poison, please.
Anywho,
this is a human we're dealing with? I didn't realize.
I have a medallion of thoughts. I'm going to use that. It's a concentration spell. It takes an action. I don't understand what's going on exactly. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on in Boris's head.
In Boreas's head. Yeah.
So this is
Poor Draken's not been told about any of this primordial nonsense, so.
it is a wisdom saving throw of 13 to contest it.
Okay. Boreas, wisdom saving throw. Unless you'd like to fail.
Well, Boreas himself would like to fail.
Well, you still had control over the last one, so you can choose to fail.
Alright, so he chooses to fail.
What do I have? Oh, they're rolling as well. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first one massively failed. The second one succeeded. Incredibly. Yeah, I rolled really bad on that first one, even though they have a +9. It's only 12. What you hear is the voice that's been playing over inside of Boreas's head for this time. You can't do this. No! We're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to play. We're supposed to get rid of that nuisance of a thing. We don't have any room for fear here. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Get rid of her!
Okay, I'm gonna make my way slowly closer to Boreas, and I'm assuming that Big Tin has kind of bridged the gap a little bit as well. Or am I gonna be the only one walking towards him?
Or BT, before you reply on that and what your motion's going to be, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
That was one that didn't roll anywhere. Let's see. Persuasion. Believe persuasion. Oh, that +5, so 18.
18. The moment you start trying to help and reach out with your connection with destruction in order to be able to even do this stuff and to begin with, there is a moment of hesitation. But as soon as you feel the recognition from the yellow line, it accepts you wholly. And with your influence, starts to push back even further. You also get an emotion, a plea. It's almost begging. Boreas. Oh, what are you doing with your movement before I make a Boreas make another wisdom saving throw? You moving along with Draken, or?
Sure, yeah.
Boreas, make another wisdom saving throw.
25.
25. It is pushing at your body. You can feel parts of your skin start to split as something is trying to tell you to change and shift. But you're willing yourself not to. You know it's intrinsically built into what you are. But you're not letting it force you to. Now make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, not so good. 4.
4? That's fine. It means you start puking.
Oh, well, that is good.
It doesn't want you to puke. It wants you to keep it. You want to fail those saves.
Excellent.
Boreas leans over and starts regurgitating. Your mind probably thinks of black liquid immediately, but no, this is a clear, foamy substance that starts pouring out of his mouth. Boreas and you, Draken, hear, as it starts happening, a very childish scream that I can't replicate. What you hear, BT, is a thin voice that comes through your connection ever briefly before it suddenly gets snapped out. Free us! that Boreas collapses to the ground. You are unconscious.
Destruction, can you identify?
It felt like creation.
And a medicine check.
Go for it.
Is that a primordial?
Yes. They are my counterpart.
They're being manipulated?
I'm not sure by that. But that would be a reasonable presumption. What was your medicine check? Draken.
21.
21. Have you ever seen a dried out moss?
Probably. I'm
Probably.
assuming as much.
Yeah, that's what a Boreas looks like. The pool of liquid on the ground, it looks as though his body quite literally took the liquid from itself and removed it all. He's looks thinner, skinnier, much more gaunt. Boreas, until you take a long rest, your maximum HP pool is down by 40.
I'm gonna reach down. I'm assuming that I could probably pick him up. And I'm just gonna move him away from the puke pile for a second.
Inside the puke pile. You know what? Actually, no. Give me a perception or an investigation check as you do this.
He's not an investigative guy. So... Ooh. Ooh.
I'm also looking at the puke pile.
9.
Puke pile. 9. You also give me one BT. Yeah, as you pick up a Boreas dried out husk, basically very easy to pick up and move.
He like stays stiff in the same position as I pick him up.
Almost mummy-like.
Yeah.
What was
Dirty
yours?
20.
Dirty 20. There is a tiny little speck of what looks to be a metallic substance swimming through the liquid that's sinking into the ground.
That piece of living metal.
Looks like it. Any
But
call
it
to it,
won't.
though, it refuses. Yeah, it won't go to you.
It won't come to me. And it would probably be way too dangerous to try and force it. So I think that's what he just tried doing, and it didn't work, and I don't want to do the same thing. So I am not going to try and absorb it either.
You see anything, Big Ten?
It keeps moving north.
Yeah. There was another fragment in there. Fragment of living metal that's been in all of these things. That's what's controlling them. That is what is the conduit that's allowing them to be controlled by whatever this thing is that's controlling them.
Do you think you're in any danger then, since you're made of the living metal?
I don't think so at the moment, but if we come into direct contact with whatever created this living metal, maybe.
When
Well,
we
that
make
doesn't
camp,
bode well.
I'm gonna need you all to sit down and explain to me what living metal is like I'm still in grade school, yeah?
I can't explain it because I'm the only thing that it is. It's what I'm made of.
It like how we have flesh. He has metal. That's the extent of what I know.
Organic metal. I don't know. It's not really organic, but it's
And
metal that...
unnatural.
And he can.
Quite the well of knowledge you guys have.
I would
I
suggest
didn't build
if
myself. I don't
this
know.
is over that we don't stand here.
It's part of ancient tech, but anyway, arc-tech.
Yeah, we can talk things over while we continue on our little journey here. William, which direction should we be headed now? I'm a bit turned around, I have to admit.
This one. He walks off in the correct direction.
I follow in the correct
He's-
direction.
He is avian. He has a natural sense of which direction.
Oh yeah, he can
It's
sense the
eternal.
world magnets.
Oh, yeah, I should probably give you that half of that feat for free.
Half of that, yeah.
Yeah, the rest of
Yeah,
that
I know what
feat
you're
is
talking about.
ridiculous.
No,
But,
yeah, no.
but for an avian sense, it does make sense. As you start to trek along about an hour into walking, I've already made you do your rolls for today and such, so I'm not going to do it again. There's a... Who's carrying a Boreas? First question.
I will.
You will? Okay. Still very light.
I am also, when I pick him up to kind of not throw him over my shoulder because he's stiff as a board, so I kind of like balance him on my shoulder. I have like one hand on his legs.
Like a yoke.
Lay on hands. I'm gonna just pump a quick 10 into him, see if that wakes him up any.
You
10 points of healing.
pump a quick 10 into him.
Quick tenor.
As you're casting that, you're noticing the little droplets of water that are on your armor from the humid. It's snowy, but it's still pretty humid-like. You're close enough to the jungles that some of it still wafts in, for some strange reason. Like geographically, shouldn't make any sense.
There are
Magically
humid
whack.
places that snow happen.
Yeah,
You don't have
but-
to plan it. Yeah.
the water that's accumulating on your armor is just getting sucked up. If it touches him, it just goes right into him. A Boreas, after you get 10 HP, which doesn't actually do anything for you. Well, no, put yourself at 11. I guess you would technically be at 1 HP. Still alive, but barely. And your maximum still reduced, but your current HP now is at 11. You do wake up.
How stiff do I feel?
Like a dried leaf.
So my movement's probably very limited right now.
Easily, yeah.
I'm just going to slowly start to move my hands and toes, and then kind of softly and quietly to Draken, I'm going to say, that was a bad idea.
What exactly can you say about what happened?
I attempted to learn on a cellular level exactly what was happening to those creatures, and there was still some of this substance within them. And instead of me learning, I was attacked, and something very childlike took control. It was a very difficult battle to keep from losing everything that was me to whatever this was. I don't think we're dealing with something that can be reasoned with easily.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I heard that voice. That was not an adult. Probably not a thing, really, to be gauged by age, if we're being real honest here, but you still get my point.
Oh yeah, childlike.
Do me a favor. Don't do that again, yeah?
Oh no, definitely not going to be doing that again. And in the future, I will be much more wary of what I consume. That was not an experience I intend to have again.
Well, we've got some traveling to do, so get comfortable. And I'm going to slightly swing his stiff body over to this side so I can put both my arms up as I carry him.
Legs
So we're
curl
not
up
at a
and...
stopping point yet.
Yep, not yet. You've still got a long way to go, but it is all entirely controlled by you lot. If you'd like to stop early in the day, you can. Like to make camp early? That's up to you.
We'll make
Taz
camp
brought
where
up
William says.
William would suggest not to do that. We're gonna go all the way until we can't see.
Okay.
And while we're on our little walkabout, Teffie's going to have some banter, make some chit chat with her adventurer friends. Starting with, where exactly do you want us to begin on this? Because there's a lot to unravel that I didn't even find out until about a cycle ago. Well, within the past cycle, it's been a busy time. And you're muted.
Are you talking to
You, Ethan, your mouth
Me?
was moving, but no sounds were happening.
Oh, my mic was not picking me up. Sorry. I'm just gonna go. It's probably gonna be easier if you start from the beginning.
Well, it's hard to determine where the beginning is because there are so many beginnings happening.
The beginning for you.
So, I was born about 36, 37 cycles ago.
I'm not gonna say a word, and I'm going to have you continue.
Grew up in Quadpolis. Nothing too crazy, to be honest with you. Just kind of a standard suburban sort of life. And then there's this book that I found once, and I was very interested in what I found because no one believed that it was anything, right? I found it in a bookshop. The bookkeeper, bookshop keeper, I suppose, just kind of let me have it for essentially free because he thought it was nonsense. It was in common. It was just really shite handwriting. Took a long time to cipher through the whole thing, but essentially, there's this place to the southeast of here where there's all mysteries and danger and clouds and whatnot, called the Archipelago. And this book, this journal, purported to have been from there. The person writing it went from Nathriel to there. And I figured that's where the giant bees would be, and I was bloody well right, mind you. So
a different kind of big insect than the ones we've been dealing with.
Yes, very different. These ones are friendly. At this, she will kind of open up a special pocket of her bag to reveal the little fluffy pom-pom guy.
Who's probably about the size of your palm at this point now.
Excellent. Teffie will scratch his little fluffy butt. Yeah,
Wiggles.
like this one.
Just a big bee, Draken.
It's just a big bee.
Real big bee.
I have some rations still left. Are there any sweet things in that thing of rations?
Sure.
I'm just gonna using the claws at the end of my fingers. I'm gonna peel off a bit of dried fruit, is what I'm assuming would be in a ration, and I'm gonna hand it to Teffie.
Well, thank you very much. Let's see if he likes it. And she will feed it to her little bee friend. And I will say yes, she does like it. And does that.
It turns into a wild creature for 0.2 seconds. It's like literally like just all legs wrapped around it, like
wings are buzzing around like mad. It's so excited.
Well, that's new behaviour. Duly noted. With this, Teffie pulls it out and writes it in her own journal. Anyway, that kind of skipped forward a bit. So I made my way down south around the mountains, heading east, and I ended up in, whatever the name of that city is. Hold on. Stitchwith. And, that's where Snozzboops actually... Wait, no. No, Peter isn't Snozzboop anymore. That really throws me off. That's where, I was for a good while, doing some research, no big deal. And then, things really kind of kicked off when I made a friend Snozzboop and we took a caravan from Stitrith, squiggling our way down around until we made it to Palius. And that's where... Have you heard of the Hand?
Cannot say that I have.
Teffie will sniff derisively.
Tiflis, I have been here for 5 days.
I don't know what a day is, but alright.
Probably like 6 days, actually, but...
But I made it down to Peleus, and that's where we formed the Hand. And then the Hand is a bunch of us, 5 or 6, I forget how many we number now. But a bunch of us joined a guild, became a party, did some quests, blah blah blah. One thing led to another, and it kind of snowballed into a massive ordeal. Turns out that our gods are not the highest power here? Question mark. And that there are these things called the primordials, and they and the gods have kind of been going at it, but there's also been infighting as well, where some of the gods, I think, or maybe I don't know who's doing it really, but someone keeps resetting the entire world, and it's started over a bunch of times by now, and the primordials have kind of had it, or at least some of the primordials are finished with it. They want things to just continue and not stop and not restart, just kind of keep going. So we got looped into it, and some of the primordials can bond with us to kind of help us out. Very handy, very convenient. So like I myself am bonded with Fear, and BT here is bonded with the big B, Destruction. We love him. And there's also a civil war down in Grantina that my buddy kind of started, is involved with in some significant way, shape, or form. And it turns out that Snozz's group of friends, they're all a cult managed by demons, I think. I'm going to be honest, man, it's been a day, so the details are a bit hazy, but everything's kind of a mess right now, and we're trying to untangle it. Questions?
For thematic effect, okay. The entire time that you... Great stuff, by the way. 10 out of 10. But throughout that whole thing, I kind of had a smirk on my face up until the moment you said there's someone restarting time and like redo, and then my face completely changes and there's like no smirk at all. And I do hear the rest of what you said after that, but there's a very long pause where I do not talk for a little while. And then, man, how far should I go with this one?
Oh, wait.
William's also able to hear this entire conversation as well. If William.
Yeah, if you want to give me a minute, go ahead and switch over real quick while I consider.
The thing is, I'm not sure William would say anything. Let me think of something that he would say. So, Tefflessa, how is your relationship with your parents these days?
In general, I'd say probably pretty good, except for oh, bloody, that's another thing as well, isn't it? There's a forgetful sickness by another primordial that started down in the archipelago and made its way through Yondo, and then somehow up to Quadrillis anyway. So everyone's kind of losing their minds and forgetting who they are. So Mum's probably not doing too swell at this stage. It's been a while since I've checked in, because letters take so long and everything, but I mean, we're on good terms if she knows who I am.
That's wonderful to hear.
It's wonderful that my mum doesn't know who I am.
No, that you have a good relationship with your parents.
All right. How's your relationship with your parents?
Well, quite bad, I suppose.
Oh.
I believe my mother is dead at this point. My father was looked down on me and basically sent me to join the Pathfinders years ago. So I haven't seen him since.
So it was your father's decision that you joined this career, and you've stuck with it despite not being on good terms. Why?
My father told me to.
Yeah, but that was cycles ago, wasn't it?
Yes?
You haven't developed cognitively since then? You haven't decided to do something else? Haven't thought about making your own decisions?
Let me rephrase. My father told me I must stay in the Pathfinders until he said otherwise.
Why? You're an adult. You can make your own. I mean, I think.
I
I'm
believe
not
the
sure how birds
reason
work.
was something along the lines of using the wrong fork one too many times.
Teffie snorts a little at that too. So the wrong fork has you banished to a dangerous outpost by your family until an indefinite time?
I believe multiple instances of the wrong fork use. I believe he said something along the lines of, if you wish to live uncivilized, go to where it is not and stay there until you learn to be otherwise. Something along those lines.
That's a bit harsh, don't you think?
I think it would be accurate to say that my father is a harsh man.
Yeah, I mean that sounds apt. So at least are you enjoying your time here?
Not particularly. I mean,
There's
the
a
nature
scream
can be
from a Nork in the background.
interesting, but I am not well liked as I started not from my youth with the Pathfinders, as would be typical. My father used his position of power to make it so.
So
I'm
you're a
not well
Nepo
liked.
baby.
Ooh, not sure what you mean by that. I
You
would not
didn't.
say it is a privilege to be here.
No, but that's the vibe that you seem to be describing. If people are displeased with you because you didn't get your position yourself, you got given it by your father's connections. That's a Nepo baby, is it not?
If that is your definition of that phrase, then yes, I agree entirely.
Interesting. Have you been stationed at any other outposts, or just this one?
Just this one.
Harsh.
Draken snaps out of their momentary stupor.
What were we just discussing?
You kind of zoned out a bit when I mentioned that the planet's restarted.
Yeah.
But we've moved on since then, unless you wanted to circle back.
No, that's fine. What were we just talking about?
William's a Nepo baby because his daddy doesn't like his table manners.
What do you mean by table manners?
He took issue with my use of the wrong fork.
So your father's not a good man, is what you're saying?
I don't know that goodness comes into it in this particular case. He is a severe man who finds drastic lines in many places.
Well then, perhaps there's just some cultural differences, but from where I'm from, you don't abandon your kids because they use the wrong fork.
Well, it's not an abandonment, more as a potential learning experience.
I think we're gonna continue this conversation throughout the entire journey, because I'm not gonna leave it alone. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I know that I don't know if the Dragonborn in this world are emotional, but we are very emotional where I come from, and my father showed his love constantly.
Wasn't that wonderful for you? Congratulations.
Where does
I'm
it
gonna
come from?
I'm gonna turn to Teffie, and I'm gonna go, are you on the same page as me right now?
Yeah,
That his
I mean,
reactions to this are a little strange?
yeah, he seems a bit lackadaisical about the whole banished because of silverware choices thing. Yeah, I'm a bit, shall we say, astonished at that revelation as well.
And Bigton, I've already said Parkoth. Anyway, back to wrong. Like specifically, you used a wrong fork, is what
Was
you're
it
saying.
was it kind of an understandable mistake where the table had been set wrong? Or was it like that you had used a dinner fork on a dessert?
More of the latter. There were several fork possibilities. I chose the wrong one for that course of the meal.
Turning
Okay.
towards Teffy, I'm gonna go. Perhaps that's part of the issue, because I've never eaten anywhere where multiple forks were part of the equation. If I'm being honest.
Never. Well, okay, I think I fall between the two of you then, because, I mean, there is the time and place to have decorum, as absurd and over the top as it may seem. But if you're just having dinner with your family and you pick the wrong fork up, surely your father shouldn't think that's worthy of sending you out to the waste on the front lines of a war.
I'm working on my sonar. My living metal sonar.
Well, I wouldn't say that I often ate dinner with just my family. Many guests, often, so
Did you grow
decorum
up in
and
like a diplomatic sort of household, like an embassy of sorts?
of sorts. My father was a nobleman.
Well, there it is then, all right. He embarrassed him in front of his friends
Possible.
and or enemies, potentially.
Still deeply inexcusable. I don't understand. I have known one of my best friends is from actually quite a high family where I come from, and I love his folks. Now, to put it in context, growing up, we had wooden utensils to eat, but I get that is very different. But
Why don't you tell us a bit more about where you're from then?
the Dragon Isles of Parka, they're a group of what were once volcanic islands off the coast of Parkoth. It's where all of the Dragonborn are from in my realm. What would you like to know about it?
Well, you seem a bit reluctant to start yapping about where you're from. Why don't you tell us about how you ended up here and the world hopping that you do?
When exactly should I start?
At the beginning, shall we? Your beginning, as it were.
A very good
Turnabout's fair
place to
play.
start.
I was the smallest of my broodmates, my siblings. My mother had 3 eggs. I was the smallest. We grew up. We were cattlemen, as my father was. It was a simple life. My mother and my siblings died in a fire, and my father passed not long after from heartbreak. Like I said, we're very emotional people. I was sent to live in the capital, my aunt. From there, I moved on. Moved to the mainland in Parkoth. I wanted to be a soldier, to matter to something. And I did. I was a paladin. Fell in with some friends, at least people who became friends. Stopped a cataclysmic event. I couldn't move past it, so I left. I went with Nero to try and find someone.
Did you say Nero?
Yeah. I've already mentioned this, by the way. This information has already accidentally been said before.
Wasn't that the name of that funny king from that other place around here? The one who kind of up and left randomly?
That would probably be him.
Curiouser and curiouser. Go on. White
We
hair
didn't
and
find the
purple
man
eyes,
we
yeah?
were looking for. What?
White hair and purple eyes, yes?
Yeah, that's him.
Not white
We
hair.
couldn't
that's
find
his
the man
sister.
we were looking for.
He is black hair.
Oh, I thought
Oh.
all of the Magus had white hair.
Nope, that's only the ones with blood
Oh,
curse.
that's right.
Yeah.
Nero has black hair. You're right.
Interesting.
Anyway, once again. We couldn't find the man we were looking for, but we found versions of him scattered everywhere. Did what we
Versions of
could.
a man? What man?
That's a tale for another time. It gets very complicated. That information.
Well, tomorrow then. We've got nothing but time as we're walking about here.
You'll know by the time we reach the Knowing's Notch if this knowing God knows as much as I think he does. Maybe he knows where he is.
Maybe so. That would be a good question. Speaking of, Teffie's going to pull out her paper and check the lines on it.
Bugger, that's a good question. I brought all
Because
my
it's
other
2,
documents.
4, 11 of 566.
Let me just get my calendar up. That's not a calendar. Where is my calendar? I'm in the wrong one. That explains it. Alright. Excuse me while I have technical difficulties and remember how to operate live. It's not actually technical difficulties, it's just me going to the wrong location. Alright, what was that date again? Give it to me one more time.
It is 2, 4, 11, 566.
2, 4, 11,
That was 1
566.
4 11.
No.
2, 4 now. Officially. Now it's 2, 4. There we go. You have one left.
Okay, cool. Teffie's going to note that down and circle back when Altian... no, just kidding. Draken has finished his story.
It is...
So 2 4 11 566.
Yep. It is the eve of as well. You have now hit the point of having to camp. So...
Before the camping happens, while they're having that conversation, was there anything Arborius was able to learn about the Nork specifically from his little consumption process?
The Nork specifically, you would, at this point, you would definitely be able to deduce that they are sentient and living beings, and they are definitely under the control of something.
Excellent, excellent.
How they're being controlled, that's something you'll have to kind of piece together a little bit. There's been a few pieces that have already been stated, but...
Yeah. My assumption is it's similar to what just happened to me.
The year may have closed for now. We hold tired and blurry you may be, but hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.